I want to touch on the playoffs pretty hard because they had an amazing season. They had the first round bye, like I mentioned, but they ran into the Washington Commanders. And looking back, we've talked about it a few times, but looking back on it, this loss is inexcusable. This is the worst loss of the entire season. They were 9.5-point favorites at home off of a first round bye. And like I said, this is the worst loss of the season. And I think it's due to one thing. And I've been on this for a very long time, and it is because of Jared Goff. And I think now it is just going to get worse because we're going to talk about like some of the coaches changes and everything that's been going on. But Jared Goff has been blessed with not good, great situations. 2016 to 2020, LA Rams. 2016, started 7 games, 0-7 with Jeff Fisher. 2017, 11-4. Head coach, Sean McVay. Offensive coordinator, Matt LaFleur. Lost in the wild card round. 2018, same exact cast. 13-4, 2 playoff wins. Lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl where they put up what? Was it? It was 9 points. They put up 9 points, right? In that Super Bowl.
Was it like 14-9 or like
13-9?
Something like that.
13-9. And then 2019, 9-7, missed the playoffs. Same cast. 2020, 10-6. Sean McVay, another familiar name that you're going to see here. Kevin O'Connell is the offensive coordinator. Won the wild card, lost in the divisional. After that season, 2021, Sean McVay decides to trade Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. In that same season, the Rams went on to win the Super Bowl, and the Lions went 3-13-1 with Dan Campbell as the head coach and Anthony Lynn as the OC. Then in 2022, Dan Campbell is the head coach. Ben Johnson is the OC. They go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. 2023, same cast, 12-5, won the wild card, won the divisional, and then divisional round. They won the wild card, won the divisional, lost to the Niners in the championship, and then 2024, 15-2, all-time season. And then I alluded to it. Home against a rookie quarterback, 9.5-point favorites. Jared Goff absolutely pisses down his fucking leg with 3 interceptions. I just think there's a very hard ceiling with Goff. And now the people are going to talk about how great his floor is and look at how successful that he's been. That's just flat a product of the system. With the Rams, I look at all the names I listed off of the great offensive talents that
3 head coaches,
great offensive coordinators and stuff that he was working with the Rams. Insane. O'Connell,
those guys are all considered some of the smartest offensive guys in the NFL.
They have all gone on and been successful in their roles. And I'm officially worried. People are like the Jared Goff floor. I'm officially worried about the floor because I don't think that there is a good offensive system put in place right now in Detroit. And I think that's fair to say when you have somebody who was as talented as Ben Johnson, who put up all those biblical on offense last season and kind of turned Jared Goff into the player that he was. And I don't think that Dan Campbell is an offensive wizard. Like, obviously he's more of a culture guy. And this can't be overstated. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, he left with the Bears. Antoine Randall, wide receivers coach, left with the Bears. JT Barrett, quarterback coach, left with the Bears. Tanner Eggstrand, the passing game coordinator, who probably would have been the offensive coordinator for the Lions, he left for the offensive coordinator job for the Jets. The system is gone. And even if they have another guy in the building who took the OC job, I am worried about Jared Goff, who has when he's had his most success, it's been because he's been system dependent. And I want us to keep that in mind when we talk about the Lions this offseason and going into this year. I just said a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw in there that the Lions really didn't start having this type of success on offense until Ben Johnson started taking over the play calling. And I think it was 2021. It was originally Anthony Lynn, and then it was given to Ben Johnson. And from there is where we really began to see this Lions offense click. Obviously, they picked up some better players along the way. They got Gibbs. They got Amon-Ra before after 2021, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so undoubtedly
2021 season.
they got better players, which that helps a lot, but they weren't putting up anywhere close and having anywhere close to the amount of success that they were on offense until Ben Johnson started taking over play calling, and I think we're going to see just how important and how great of a play caller he was in Detroit now that he's gone. I don't expect this Lions team to nearly. I think they go back to being a middle of the road type offense, maybe a little bit above average, just because I think they are so talented. But
Yeah.
we're
Jameer
not
Gibbs
going to
is still
see.
good.
Yeah, Amon-Ra's still good. Like Laporta's still good. They still have good players, but the play calling and the creativity on offense that Ben Johnson brought to the table for this team um, can't be understated. It was what made Jared Goff look like a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people are probably not going to like love to hear that, like if you are a Lions fan, but it's the reality. Like this guy, what happened last year and the years before that when you had the 49ers against the ropes and probably the best opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. That is the most that you're getting out of this team. You're not going to have an all-time historic great offense like you did last season. That's going to regress. Everything about what has happened over the last 2 years is going to regress just because the amount of people who are out the door. And it's not like a situation where I said it when the first thing that happened when the Rams got a more talented quarterback than Jared Goff into the system, what happened? They went and won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like, and you look at what happened when he was with that Lions team, it was a wreck. And getting back to, like you said, like now that some time has passed, some people have left the building, some key players have been injured. Like you already are starting to see some injury concerns rolling out of their camp where there's guys getting injured every single day. And then on top of that, to have all of those important coaches just continue to kind of walk out of the door. I just think that it's time to pump. We said it about the Commanders, but it's time to pump the brakes on the Lions because I think a lot of people have kind of crowned them as that team to be an auto bid into like to win the division pretty much and be that team. I don't think that's where they're at. I mean, I will talk about this playoff loss one more time, then we'll move on. Every single person in the media, every single person that you talk to in your group chats, I got patronized for saying that I thought the Commanders were going to beat the Lions. We got patronized for making a YouTube video about how we were planting our flags on the fact that the Lions weren't going to go to the Super Bowl in December before the season was even over. And we kind of saw all of the foreshadowing happening. And now I'm at the point now where it's like, it's way worse than it was last year. And I feel like people are not realizing that yet.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man, and take vision.